Hi, welcome everybody. Jason Barlow, Life Therapeutic Massage. Last week I posted on Facebook that I'm going to share some secrets with you in respect of flattening your abdominal wall. It's that time of year as we prepare for this warmer weather arriving. We're going to be spending more time on vacations, on the beach, wearing less clothing, and we'll become more conscious of our abdominal wall at that time. So, imperative before you actually start to consider what type of exercises you should be doing, the most important thing before that is to consider what you're doing as far as getting enough of this in every day. So my recommendation, and it's going to change per person with respect to your body size, how much you use your body, how much energy you're expending, if you're training that day, the temperature outside. The golden rule, I would say, fall between 1.5 to 2 liters of water every day. And if you're not getting enough water coming in, you're not going to be hydrating those cells, and you're not going to help support your system in respect to physically training these abdominal tissues. Secondary to that, you've got to eat good, clean food, whole foods, organic foods, locally sourced as much as possible. Get to your farmers markets and just clean your diet. If it's not clean enough, and you're the best determinant of that, we can all sit down and negotiate and talk about different foods that are out there and what's best. But let your abdominal wall feed back to you. If it's not as flat as you want it to be, start considering how your food program is affecting that. So we considered water, we considered foods. Third pillar of health in terms of abdominal wall, you've got to consider how much sleep you're getting. If you're not getting enough rest at night, guaranteed it's going to fluctuate your hormones, and that's going to drastically affect the results that you can possibly get from your physical training. See, I see a lot of people doing a lot of physical training and they don't have enough rest cycles, and it's when you're resting that all the training effects take place. So suitable amount of rest relative to amount of physical training is absolutely essential, especially when you're trying to flatten the abdominal wall. Beyond those factors, you have to consider then what's your mindset. If you're carrying a lot of burdens right now, a lot of stress in your life, especially tied in with respect to emotions of finance, career, and relationships, which is most of us, if we have an abundance of stress and not enough resources to deal with those stress sources, we're going to accumulate a lot more distension and bloating and symptoms in this lower abdominal region and into the lower spine and the pelvis, which is probably 90% of the scenarios that I'm treating day to day with my patients is concentrated around that low back pelvic region. And I always strive to explore those avenues with my patients, because I'll give you one example. I had a lady come in to see me for 6 weeks. She was receiving massage care and chiropractic care, and there was some changes structurally, but she was always in this perpetual cycle of pain. She stopped coming. She was obviously frustrated and not getting results. I saw her 2 years later, and she shared with me at that time, 2 years on, that when she was receiving treatment, she was actually going through a divorce. Now, she hadn't told us as her therapist at that time. That would have been pretty important information to share, but some people keep it private. Nevertheless, once her divorce had gone through, her pain actually went all by itself with no therapy. She'd stop coming to see us. So the emotions have a huge impact upon your abdominal health, your lower spine health too. Okay, so let's jump in terms of exercise. So one of the primary exercises you've got to consider is how you breathe. Most people, when I have them and assess them, they don't know how to breathe through the deep abdominal wall. So what I get them to do, and I'll go to my next layer here so you can see more clearly what's going on at my abdomen. So it's this region here we're concentrating on. Now as I breathe in, observe what happens to my belly. See how it expands, and as I breathe out, it flattens. Breathing in and breathing out, and it flattens. So every cycle of breath in should allow a relaxation of all of this region of the abdomen. That way then your viscera, your organs have a place to move. If you keep everything tight most of the time, the organs have no space to expand, they don't get massaged, and consequently your diaphragm pushes everything up, which means all of these muscles in your neck and shoulder have to engage. So breathing through this muscle is absolutely essential when it comes to train the abdominal wall. So this is exercise number one. Just on all fours, hands and knees, keeping a good alignment with the posture of the head and the neck and the shoulders. And from there you breathe in, allow the belly to relax and expand. Breathe out and engage the deep abdominal muscle by drawing the belly button inward toward the spine as much as you can. Now if I use the wrong muscle, I'm going to do this. So all I'm striving to do is flattening my abdominal wall rather than contracting and flexing my spine. So breathing out, I draw my belly button in, I hold that now for a phase of 10 seconds. After my 10-second of effort, I then release, take a breath in, and repeat again. Breathe out, draw the belly button inward, engage that deep abdominal wall. You can even engage the pelvic floor muscles at the same time. They are on the same loop of muscle. Through the fascia connections, release everything and relax. So this exercise is fundamental to anybody who's getting into abdominal training, particularly for those who've experienced any type of abdominal surgery, post-pregnancy, anybody who's struggling to flatten the abdominal wall. That exercise is the first one I'd highly recommend to start off with. If you'd like more information about this, give me a call, 403-589-4645. If you haven't subscribed to our e-newsletter, do that through our website, www.lifemassage.ca. Otherwise, tune in a couple of weeks. We're going to spend some more time progressing this exercise and looking at how these muscles play out with respect to big exercises like squats and deadlift patterns. Okay, take care, guys.